It was a great day here at Nets Media Day. I'm Dexter Henry for NetsDaily.com, joined by Tom Lorenzo back in the video, and the guy that we see every year at Media Day, Robert Windrem, here
Good to be here.
To give his insight, a little bit of insight for us here today. So we're going to start talking about the Nets, guys. We're back here for this season. It's a very exciting time. Totally different looking team for the most part. Some missing parts. What did you like? I'll start with you first, Tom. What did you like about what the Nets did this offseason?
Well, you know, they got younger, they got more athletic, they got some shooters. Obviously, it's not perfect. You know, they still have a lot of work to do. They have a lot of growing to do. But I do like the fact that they have what seems to be some sort of plan in place. And it's not a plan for this year, it's a plan for the future. And again, there's a lot of work that still needs to be done, but I do like the fact that there seems to be something in moving in a certain direction that has youth and athleticism.
Youth and athleticism, that's two of the words we heard a lot of today. What about you, Bob? They're moving in the right direction, yes or no? What do you think?
I think they're moving in the right direction. And one other thing I think, which a lot of us have underestimated, which is there's a lot of character guys on this team. There are a lot of smart guys on this team. You listen to some of these interviews, and these guys, they're very different personalities, but there's a lot of really smart, eloquent guys on this team. And they all want to be here. What we've been told repeatedly by people on the inside is they want to be here. This is a team that wants to be here. Now, obviously, that is a offhanded criticism of people who were here last year or the last 2 years who may not have wanted to be here. His initials are DW. But I think
no reading between the lines there.
No, not at all. But I think that that's what you're seeing this year. You're seeing not just youth and athleticism. You are seeing character. You are seeing guys, again, who want to be here, who buy in. And you also have 3 guys who played for Lionel in the past who are here, which is also very interesting. There are now 10 guys on this team who have had experience with the hard-nosed coach. So I think that that's a part of what they did this year as well.
All right, so we saw some good things, a lot of changes. And some of the younger guys we talked to, even like Shane Larkin, we heard from a rookie like Rondé Hollis-Jefferson, guys, that they're definitely excited to be a part of this. Was there any big takeaway you heard from media today? Because we heard some of the guys talk. We heard Coach Hollins talk. We heard from Brooke Lopez. We heard from Thaddeus Young, Joe Johnson, who's a leader that seems to relish his leadership role right now, and I think fans will be encouraged to see that. Was there anything you took as a major takeaway from today here at Media Day?
You know, I think it was interesting. I think the biggest takeaway that I had was that nothing really is defined or settled. Coming into camp, it's not that we have a starting 5, we have our 7 deep, our 8 deep. There's a lot of guys who can play their way into the rotation. And there's still talk from Hollins who, you know, he even said it's not even certain that Jarrett Jack's going to start at point guard. You know, whether or not that's true, we'll find out. But I think the thing this year is that there's no certainty. And there's a lot of opportunity for guys to make their way into playing time and into the rotation.
All right, you heard that. Nothing is settled. Lionel definitely talked about that today. Is that a good thing or bad thing, Bob?
I think it's a good thing at this point. I mean, at some point during the season, you have to build that rotation. You have to have that 1 through 8, 1 through 9. And if you don't, then you're going to have players who are going to be unhappy because they're uncertain. One of the things I found very interesting today was that Lionel Hollins volunteered about Dante Jones' value to this team.
Yes.
Now, this is a guy who played with him when he was the assistant coach in Memphis, and Jones is not young. Excuse me, is no longer athletic. He's 34 years old. He was brought in here for a very specific reason. And that very specific reason was as a team leader, as a hard-nosed guy, as maybe the guy in the locker room who keeps everybody happy. So I think that was one takeaway, that in terms of the roster, as Tom said, nothing is settled. And the final roster is also not yet settled, as evidenced by what Hollins was saying about Jones.
Definitely interesting to look at. We have another video that's going to be up on netsdaily.com where we talk to many of the beat writers covering this team about what they think the Nets could do this season. So I have to ask both of these guys here, what's the prediction for the Nets this season? There's a lot of different takes. Nothing is settled. let's settle on these predictions. What do you got, Tom?
I think they'll make the playoffs. I think the high end would be 6. I think they'll settle somewhere 7 or 8. But I do think this team can make the playoffs. Whether or not that's the expectations of what the fans want to hear, maybe if they lose in the first round, I think you kind of pat yourself on the back and say, let's pick it up in 2016 and kind of continue to build this. But I think this team can certainly make the playoffs.
If they don't make the playoffs, the fans will be coming for you on Twitter. What about you? Playoffs, no playoffs? What do Nets do this season?
I've been saying this for weeks, which is everything has to go right for them to make the playoffs. Now, that could mean that things that we don't anticipate could happen in a positive sense. I mean, some of these new guys who you may not anticipate playing will become vital parts of the team. But I think if they get to what they did last year, which was making the playoffs, with or without a winning record, they'll be thrilled.
All right, there you go. You have it from these two. Let us know what you think. Will the Nets make the playoffs or not? Hit us up at netsdaily.com. You can hit up Bob. He handles the Nets Daily account. You can hit up Tom Lorenzo at Tom Lorenzo or me at Nets Daily Video. That's it for us. From here at Media Day, we'll have a lot more coming. There is a exhibition game. Preseason starts in a week from today, believe it or not. So a lot of basketball right around the corner, which we're all happy about, right? We're all happy. So that's it. For Bob Windrem, Tom Lorenzo, I'm Dexter Henry for netsdaily.com.